Let's get started.
Here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to FusionLore, the podcast where we dive deep into the lore of FusionFall, exploring every mission 30 minutes at a time to piece together a story and uncover what's really going on. I'm Magic, also known as the Magical Dealer, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Matthew. I said his full name this time. You never know what's going to happen. Also known as Aris. Say hi, Matt.
Hello, D'Adrian.
Government!
And everyone watching.
I'm going to bleep that.
I know who
They'll never
you
know.
are.
They'll never know. I'll bleep
who
it.
you are. I have access to YouTube comments.
Oh, God.
Don't tempt me.
In today's episode, we're going over the level 18 missions, going over what makes them stand out and our thoughts overall about what happened this level.
Yeah, so honestly, let's just get off the most boring topic just out of the way, because we got some good juice to talk about today. I'm going to talk about the Armed Forces mission line because it is really silly,
Boring,
and full of candy puns and random bullshit. But basically, we learn a very interesting tidbit that the candy pirates have reinforcements out in the ocean, and they kind of need help getting in contact with them, apparently.
boring mission.
Yeah, boring ass mission line. We just basically help them restore communications back with their extra crew.
Let me tell you how this mission line went. They saw us running on the beach, and they said, "Hey, you're that kid that does everything for everybody, right? Go to this lighthouse, fix this radio, and we'll tell the people out on the ocean to come help us." That's the mission.
Yep.
That's it. That's what happened.
That's the whole mission. Yeah,
And for some reason, it had to be spread out between 4 missions.
what do you mean? 6 missions?
6? Oh God, I'm losing my memory. I'm becoming Dracula.
Nah, it's okay. Don't worry. Don't even compare yourself to that man. He's gone. That's not. I don't even think that's really Dracula anymore.
And
he would beg to
boil
differ.
it down to go lighthouse, talk to friend. Thank you.
Yeah, that's it. I just think it was interesting. That's a small little information, I guess, world building information that the candy pirates are not alone. They're not stranded. They have extra reinforcements out there.
This mission was padding.
Yeah, that's about it.
Fluff. Filler. This was a filler episode.
Yeah, sure. The filler, except for all the juice that we're about to talk about. What would you like to start with?
Okay. All right. I started the last episode with Grim. I'm going to start this one with Grim too.
Okay.
So, what is it? Fusion in our midst? Is that what it is?
With the Billy, right?
Yeah. So
and fusion in our midst.
We hop out Grim, and then Billy wants some help, and Billy's like, "Go get some goo so I can give Runty a living room." Side note from what I'm about to talk about, we have not gotten any information on Runty. I am peaked, hyped. I want to know more about this little fusion spawn that hangs out with Billy. Are they ever going to talk about it? Do I have to go looking for it? You know what? Matt, what if Runty is in the guide missions?
Oh my God.
What if Runty is in the guide missions?
You know something? I wouldn't be surprised. The guide missions, the thing is that we were just sort of introduced to Runty as an entity. For context, we had a mission line where we had some very nasty candy that made you extra dumb, and it didn't really work that well on dumb people, but it was so dangerous that we needed to hide it and keep it away from Fusion's minions, right? And that mission line originated in the guide missions, for Double D, but we later had a mission line where
Ed,
if we didn't have that context, for Ed, if we didn't have the context for this candy, we wouldn't know what the hell we were actually doing for them. So it's a little interesting that we have to go through. It's almost as if they had the intention of people playing through all of the guide missions as you're going along, which is weird but interesting. But yes, there's a strong possibility Runty could be referenced within these guide missions, and as to his origin, maybe there's a possibility. You know, we never know.
I don't know. We're halfway through the game. We're kind of like moving out of downtown. We're like towards the end of it. Like, I think we got like a couple more areas in downtown before we stop going there in general. So I don't know when Runty's lore will be introduced. But anyway, Billy wants some goo. We end up going get some goo from a pier. Grim's like, that goo could be used for something. Take it to the beach infected zone, drop it, and see what happens. And then surprise, surprise, we find another secret fusion lair, and it's Fusion Mandy. We go in and we kill her, and Grim thanks us because Fusion Mandy had been trying to control Grim. So in line with all the other fusions who like come into existence with memories of who they are or who they were made from.
Yes.
Is a fusion that person?
Yep, that person.
No, I'm asking you, Matt. Logistically, ethically, morally, is a fusion its own person, or is it that person?
Logistically, morally, I would like to say it is not that person, but how do I say this? Like a mirror house reflection of what that person could be if they took a more sinister path, at least in how it is portrayed by all the fusions that we have seen. Though,
is a fusion a clone, or is it an imitation?
Hold on. I think it's an imitation that has a knack for mischievous and devious activities. But in the context of that person, at least in that person for this mission line, specifically Fusion Mandy, I think it's a 1-to-1 comparison, truthfully speaking.
So you think it's a clone?
No, that's hard to say necessarily. I would like to say that if someone is already, evil, and a fusion variant of them shows up and is doing evil shit, you just sort of like, yeah, that's very on brand, But if it's a nice person, let's say the loving father, Professor Utonium, and we see Professor Plutonium, that man is experimenting with radioactive materials and also experimenting on baby imaginary friends. That man is a menace. That is not the professor we know and love. That is not a clone of the professor we know and love. That may have some of the memories of the person we know and love, but that is not him. It is an imitation. An imitation or a mirror of, like I said, a mirror house, a distorted view of what this person is in some way, shape, and form. But occasionally when you're walking through those mirror houses, you do stumble across a mirror that is not distorted. And I think in this mission line, Mandy found the normal mirror, and the Fusion Mandy is just, enacting all the stuff she wished she could do normally.
That was a lot, Matt.
Yes, it was. Were you following?
I bring this up because.
But were you following?
I heard everything you said. I was just like, this man is telling a story.
Sorry. I'm listening. The words are flowing.
I bring this up because Billy and Mandy have a deal with Grim that they are like in charge of him essentially, and they can tell him what to do. And I ask, is a fusion of a character that character or an imitation of that character? Because if Fusion Mandy is trying to control Mandy, do you think she has the memories of whatever deal they made with Grim to be able to make him do stuff? To be like, I can make him do that too.
Okay, I think it's to an extent.
What do you mean?
I think it's to an extent. So, because, okay, I'm going to go back to Professor Plutonium in this case. We know he's a professor. He has all these doctorates. He's very smart to begin with, but he's not necessarily known in his human form to be working with radioactive materials. Necessarily. We don't know everything about the professor.
Mm-hmm.
But in the context of him being a genius, a professor, being able to create the Powerpuff Girls basically from scratch in a lab, it wouldn't be out of this world to say that he shares some of the ideas, the knowledge, and maybe even some of the perseverance in such a way where it could be perceived as almost the same person. But in the context, at least with Mandy, in the mission line, she is trying to control Grimm, and I understand where you're coming from. They do have a pact with Billy. Grimm does have a pact with Billy and Mandy that they're essentially his best friends, and he's basically forced to serve him in such a way. I think Fusion Mandy at least was trying to tap into that at least, and maybe that's why in the previous level where we had speculation that Grimm could possibly be trying to betray us by allowing the world to be reaped of sorts so he would be free of his job and responsibilities. I think in this context, it's not all of it, but it's most of it. Just like any mirror, you're not getting the whole picture.
I'm trying to stop this from becoming a deep delve into the morality of
course,
the mind. But like, what is a fusion? I'm breaking my own brain here. Where are the memories stored? Does a fusion have a brain? Is that a copy of the original brain? If you take all the thought processes and memories from one person and stuff it in a box and put it into something else, is that if I copy my brain and put it in a robot, is that robot me?
No, it is
if
you
it
up
thinks
until that
like
point.
Me and has my memories.
It is you up until that point. You are your own entity. A separate entity imitating you, sure, through some means, it is able to understand and replicate the things that you have done up until that point, up until its own creation, without understanding new information that you may have gained up until that point. Until after that point, at least. I don't think that it is you. Like I said, it is a distorted vision of what you are up until its creation. And then after that, it is no longer you because you continue on.
My brain is breaking, Matt. We gotta talk about something.
We gotta move on.
My brain is breaking.
But this will spiral. This will spiral, Magic. You don't understand.
Talk about the monkeys. Oh my God. I'm gonna hurt myself thinking about this. Talk about the monkeys.
Okay, so basically, level 18, going bananas. We do a Mojo Jojo mission line where we basically collect some fusion bananas for Fusion Mojo Jojo because Fusion Mojo Jojo wants some bananas and he needs to eat the fusion bananas. But now the fusion bananas have disappeared. He wants to find the fusion bananas anyway. We had to recover the fusion bananas from the infected skate park in Orchard Bay, and then we have to study the effects of the fusion bananas. A lot of fusion bananas has been said. I'm going bananas just talking about it. Just like the mission line, I have no idea where this is going. But
if I take a fusion banana and I make another fusion banana, are they the same fusion banana?
Right, diving deep into the morality of this world, right? We go and we retrieve these fusion bananas and we go bring them to Mojo Jojo.
No, you're telling it wrong.
No. We're supposed to. We're supposed to. But then we bring it to Boomer Banjo because Boomer Banjo stops us. And then we go to we find out that all the fusions who ate these fusion bananas went to find Mojo Jojo at Bravo Beach. Fusion Mojo Jojo. They have gone bananas. And they have turned themselves into fusion simians. And the implications of the fusion bananas mutating living creatures into the simian spawns. It makes me wonder what exactly could have happened if Fuse had succeeded in his plans in infecting the food and water supplies in the previous missions that we finished. You know what I'm saying?
No, Matt. Wait, Matt. Wait.
I know.
No, wait. You don't understand. I just realized something.
What's up?
The monkey minions ate the fusion bananas and became fusion mutated monsters.
Yes.
What fusion had an idea to feed us fusion food?
I have no. Oh my God.
Matt.
Oh my God. It's man.
Fusion man.
He's behind it all.
Oh no.
Oh my god. He's probably because he was
Matt.
Wait, was he the first one?
He was the first, he was the one who presented us with the idea of fusion corrupted food in the food supply, and we were like, "That'll never work."
Dunking on him.
That'll never work. Now we have monkeys who ate fusion bananas and became fusions,
living fusions.
Who, like, for one, we don't know what happened to them. Literally in this mission line, he's like, go destroy them. We have first blood on our hands. This is our first killing of a normal thing in FusionFall. We killed 12 of these monkeys. And the monkey, like, remarks on it is like, I hate that we have to get rid of my friends. These were my friends. Oh, well. And then the mission line ends. We don't get any more information on, like, if killing them reverts them back, or if Grim could bring them back as normal things. We just kill them and move on.
Man, it's just the implication that there's no other way to save them. That we just we mercy killed 12 of Mojo Jojo's minions. They're just mutated living creatures, and there was no possible way we could have saved them.
We don't even tell Mojo Jojo. Wait a minute. We don't even tell Mojo. Mojo told us to bring the fusion bananas back to him, and we get stopped by a random monkey minion, and he said, "Don't do that. Take them over here instead." We didn't even tell Mojo what happened to the monkey minions.
Oh my god. Mojo Jojo doesn't know.
He doesn't know yet, because as I will remind you, he has those mutated monkeys under his volcano.
Oh my god, that is fucking terrifying. The moral implications of this mission. Mind you, this is just a nano mission line for Mojo Jojo, but it's the darkest mission I think we've had in general. The mercy killing of 12 of Mojo Jojo's minions. Broadcasted, and then we take over, then we make a nano. Like they didn't even matter.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about a different topic. No copies, no fusions on me.
We're moving on.
No killing monkeys.
We're moving on to something very fascinating. I promise you.
No death.
We're moving.
No morality.
No. Okay, we're moving on. All right, look, it's a Rune with a View, part 5 of 5. Just imagine in your head. Imagine you're there doing the mission. There's no fusion simians anywhere. They have not died, and we are just doing missions. All right, move on.
Oh,
all right, perfect. Right, you found your happy place.
So we gonna do a Rune with a View, which well, no, we shouldn't talk about that one yet. We should talk about.
Sure?
No. Yeah, Rune review. We find out that there's a rune on the spine of the Book of Prophecies, and we take it to Grim, and he's like, "This is powerful," and we bring it back to Gwen, and she's like, "This is crazy. What is this gonna do?" And we end up,
and it shows a. Sorry. I just wanted to finish because it is within this mission line. It says the prophecy says our planet has an ancient magical defense system. It's a network of ancient totems that we can activate them before Fuse does for some reason. I don't know. We have to. So, I don't know what would happen if he did, but, continue.
This leads us into Head to Totem, where we go into the crystalline caverns and we find a totem buried halfway in the ground with carvings of Hanna-Barbera characters on them. What does this mean for the lore of the world? Is Scooby-Doo considered like a caveman to the world of FusionFall?
No, not even.
What do you mean?
Okay. Not even, because it's Hanna-Barbera. They're inscribed on totems. If you think about ancient history, most of the time, the very important people with the most silhouette were inscribed on these on stone tablets and on the walls of their ruins, whatever the case might be. Especially in ancient Egypt, the pharaohs had statues built after them. These are totems.
Look,
these are important people. They're not cavemen.
There's two ways you can look at this, right? These are either important people who once existed in the FusionFall world, or these are important people who will exist in the FusionFall world. To our knowledge, granted, we do not travel the globe in this game, so we have no idea what's on the other side of Orchid Bay. But
yeah, no, we have no idea. Continue.
These characters are not in FusionFall unless they're like hidden and like myths. Is this magical quote unquote defense system gonna lead to us summoning these characters and they're gonna show up like guardians and like project the shield around the world?
A giant Scooby head surrounds the planet, engulfing it in a single bite. We are safe from Fuse.
But you get what I mean? Like, what is the implication of this totem and the Hanna-Barbera characters on it?
Well, let's be real here. In the history of Cartoon Network as a whole, the Hanna-Barbera was its origin. It is the founding roots of Cartoon Network as a whole.
So you're with the idea that these are characters that were once around and are no longer around.
Yeah, honestly.
These are like, no better way to say it, the pioneers of the world we live in now.
Yeah,
they were like our pilgrims.
Well, we got the Flintstones and then the Hanna-Barbera races, and they were always with stone and or random vehicles. Maybe some technology was involved in there, but as things progress, we lean into the future. That's where Scooby and the gang are living, and then even further into the future, that's where we are. That's all. After all the advancements, the world has progressed. It is now in the modern era. Everything in the past is in the past, but these are the ancient totems of the people from the past, speaking of a prophecy that we are supposed to fulfill. And let's spiral into it.
No, we're trying not to spiral.
No. It's cool. Okay, so the spine of the Book of Prophecy vanishes, and Gwen is worried. We're like, whoa, what? She's like, whoa, hurry back. And then she tells us that we have been imbued with the power of the Book of Prophecy. The forces of destiny are at work, and she thinks that we can activate the totems without the book anymore. So,
you know what? You know what I just imagined? We go activate the totem. We go activate the totem with the Book of Prophecy spine. We touch it. The totem lights up and it goes, you're the roasted run. Ruh-oh. You have to rave the planet.
I can't understand what you're saying. What are you saying? You're my ravioli all the totems. I don't know how to speak like Scooby, but
the rotems.
Oh
my God, Scooby!
Whoa, no, Scooby, no. Anyway, we must activate the totems, and it's very interesting. I believe we've been the forces of destiny at work. We are almost deemed the chosen one by the book itself.
By the powers granted to me by Scoobert Doo. I have been chosen to save the planet.
Imbued with the power of Ultra
Scooby
Shaggy, we will save the world.
I'm starting to see what people are so hyped about the Book of Prophecies for. Yes. But it ends there. We don't get any more information. We have to do more head to totems. After that, we go to Haunted Ridge, Haunted Ridge. We go to Haunted Ridge and we find out about a meteor.
Another meteor, mind you.
Right? This is a second meteor. We haven't got any information on that last meteor we were doing. But we do submissions for the SAC, the Special Alien Capture Team. And we find out that this meteor was dropped off by different aliens apart from Fuse.
UFOs.
There's just a UFO flying around Haunted Ridge. And when we investigate this meteor, we find that it has the power to slow the infection from Fuse. Fuse is trying to turn Haunted Ridge into an infected zone, which is cool. This is our first time ever being in an area before it becomes an infected zone. We're seeing how that happens. My immediate thought when we find out that this meteor can slow the infection of Fuse is, why are we not implementing this meteor into the rest of the world as soon as we can? We found you're telling me we discovered a meteor and it was like, it stops Fuse for a little bit. And we did immediately like, yo, Dexter, you know those infected zones? I know how we're about to make them hoes better. Put these meteor shards all around the infected zone. We about to be good. We about to get a leg up. No, we don't tell anybody. We don't tell anybody about this special meteor that slows infection. 2, who are these aliens with this meteor?
Exactly.
They just dropped it off and was like, good luck, dog, and dipped. Can you cop us fight?
They didn't really dip though. They're kind of just chilling around. They're flying around. They're just seeing what we do with it.
Matt, they're up there on that UFO and they're placing bets. They're like, bet you they don't know what to do with that meteor. No, give them a chance. I bet they figure it out. Nah, they're gonna die. No, they got it. They're playing with our lives. They're playing with our lives.
Hey, look, we figured it out. Give Sack some credit, all right?
No, I won't, because we figured out we don't do shit with it.
Okay, I understand we haven't done anything with it yet, but we still have this mysterious benefactor. We don't know exactly how the implications are or how this may benefit us in the future mission lines. We have no idea, but all we know is that it basically, it's a meteor contained or that suppresses fusion matter infections surrounding it. And perhaps that may have something to do, the reasoning behind that may have something to do with the odd radiation signature that the meteor itself gives off. So maybe there's a way we can recreate this odd radiation signature that it gives off and use it to slow the infection down from fusion matter altogether. We don't know.
Look,
speculation.
I don't want to spoil anything. I'm looking at the mission tracker. We don't really come back to Haunted Ridge, man.
Hey, listen, SACT agents are everywhere, all right? Doesn't mean we don't. Everything's all about information in a war, all right? We already know from the last episode that essentially Fuse is not actually a hive mind. It's just an information network that if you defeat something, the information don't get sent. And he's pretty confused about that. So, being as it may, we don't die, you know? We don't die. Information will never be lost. We're turning the war around as far as we're aware. And Stacked could come back later in the mission lines and deliver something even cooler. We have no idea.
Man.
But in Stacked Attack Part 4, it's the last mention of the UFO and the origin of the meteor.
Yeah, we don't find anything out about them fuck-ass aliens.
Yeah, no. But continue, sir. Continue.
I was just going to say, like, man, I know it doesn't, but FusionFall would have been so cool if instead of, like, it ending with a fight against Fuse, it ended with a fight against a fusion version of the player character. Because, like, in the eyes of Fuse, we're single-handedly stopping his effort of this fight. If I was him, I would put all resources into finding whatever the player character's personal item is and getting an army of him. He gets shit done.
Yeah,
he or she. Yeah. He or she. You could be a girl too. Or they. They get shit done.
Listen, we get shit done at the end of the day. I'm surprised myself, honestly. But maybe that's why we're so special. In a sense,
we're the chosen one now.
We're from the future, Magic. We have no real ties to the past.
We're not from the future, bro.
What do you mean? We're
from the past. We originated in the past.
We originated in the past.
We went to the future, and then we came back.
But I guess in that sense, there's a big gap from when we left and when we arrived, where things could be lost that were once ours. Any personal items are no longer personal, especially through the journey we went through. The world is no longer what it once was. We don't have the earthly ties that we once had. So by that proxy, we are stronger by comparison to everyone else in the universe.
That's the timer.
Or at least on the earth.
I had this idea that I was thinking about whenever we do the Booker Prophecy mission, that like, we became the chosen one. Were we always the chosen one? But then I remembered that we literally quite proved multiple times that FusionFall is a split timeline time travel theory. So it's not the whatever happened has always happened and we were always the chosen one. We didn't literally become the chosen one. Theoretically, we don't know yet. The head to totem thing isn't done yet until right now in this moment. So we were just some regular fuck ass kid before.
Listen, I just think it's a cool tidbit, a nod off to that we could be very special in this in the place that we are at right now.
You know what, Matt? You are very special.
You know what, Magic? I think so too. I really think.
Okay, right. You could have said it back, but that's fine. Okay. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you special to Tin Dog, Radio Raves, and Lucille Luke for making our show possible. Follow our socials and the links. I'm gonna mute Matt. I'm gonna mute him.
I need it. Please.
Well, you can't hear Matt anymore. Anyway, thanks for watching this episode. You can find our Discord down there. Rate our show on iTunes or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, whatever, wherever the show is. I've been Magic. He's been Matt. Have a great day, everybody. Let's see if he has any closing notes for us.
The description. Join the Discord. Please.
Bye, everybody.
Leave your feedback on me. I know you guys love me.
Think you're ready for
Please.
that?